What would I have my younger self know? So today I'd like to share with you a few things I wish I had have known in my 20s. This is the only body that we're getting in this life. It is the vehicle that we will drive through life in. It is going to take us from here to there. It is how we're going to express ourselves. It is how we're going to experience life. It's how we're going to ride roller coasters and travel the world and dance and make love, and all of these things is through our body. We're not a head on a stick. We have a body. And it is our earthly temple, meaning it's made from the earth, from Gaia. When we die, we decompose and go back to the earth. We're compost. But it is sacred. And so many of us don't appreciate our bodies. Imagine living in a house that you hate. I hate the walls. I hate the floor. I hate my room. I hate the bathroom. I hate the kitchen. I hate it all. It would feel so awful living in that house, and that's pretty much what we're doing, and it doesn't go away on its own. We have to do the work. As a general rule, if we look after it, if we love it, if we nurture it, if we talk kindly to it, it will look after us. And in the world of social media, of course, it thrives on us comparing ourselves to other people, being dissatisfied and consuming more. So it's kind of a radical act of self-love to just go, you know what, I love my body, I'm going to feed it well, I'm going to exercise it, move it, I'm going to rest it. That is quite radical in today's society. Emma Thompson said this wonderful thing that basically she's not going to let, what did she say? I'm not going to waste my passion, my energy, my curiosity, my money, and my life's purpose worrying about my body. I think that is just chef's kiss. Go, Emma. And that flows in nicely with my next point, which is to develop a spiritual practice. Whatever that means to you. It doesn't have to be religious. It can be walking in nature, meditating, whatever it is that you feel connected to life, plugged in. It's well documented that people who have a spiritual life of some sort, doesn't have to be religious, but some kind of spiritual practice, can cope with life's challenges much more gracefully and much more joyfully. If you don't feel connected or plugged in, then it's so easy to get stuck in that trap of looking outside of yourself for validation. And we all do it at some point, if not a little bit, a lot. Looking outside of ourselves to be told that we're okay. Whether it's on YouTube wanting views and likes and comments and virality, or having guys ask you out, making you feel like I am attractive. I remember when we were young, me and my friends would go out, and if no one cracked onto us that night, it wasn't a good night. And if we had like guys ask us out, then that was a great night. So our whole sense of whether it was a good night or not was based on external factors. That's so sad. The next thing I want to share is around substances, alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Look, I had my fair share of wild drinking nights, and I did a whole video about that, about my journey with alcohol, and I've 15 years sober, haven't had a drink for 15 years, and that's really been one of the most, I'm always distracted by the birds, that's really been one of the best decisions of my life. And I get why people drink, because it gives you a sense of Dutch courage. Some people are painfully shy and introverted and insecure, and there's no shame in it. Like, hard to be secure in the world the way it is when we're just constantly being told we need to be more, or we need to buy the next thing to make us feel a certain way. But to be able to go out with your friends and dance the night away and not need to have a drink is so liberating. To know that you can be the one to drive people home, that you can take care of people. Any decision you make is a conscious decision. There's no regrets. There's no waking up going, oh my gosh, I spent way too much money. I lost my phone. I ended up next to this person who I don't even know who they are. And that also brings me to the point, don't give yourself away. You don't have to be married to have sex, but I believe you really do need love to have sex, because there is an emotional and spiritual cost to casual sex that you can't even comprehend right now. Your relationships matter. Who you choose to be your life partner or significant other or partner for a year or two, whoever you choose, it matters. They have a huge impact on you, but particularly life partner. It is one of the most important decisions of your life. The wrong relationship can take you so far off path that you may not even recognize yourself. You are so precious. You really are. I remember my sister-in-law used to say to me, like when I was younger, I just had terrible luck. It's not luck, but I made terrible choices with men. I had just shitty relationship after shitty relationship, and I was pretty down on myself. My sister-in-law, Madeline, was like, Maggie, she grabbed me and she's like, Maggie, you're so precious. She looked up my name, and Margaret means pearl. And she's like, you're a precious pearl. And I didn't really, I couldn't absorb it. I had so much self-loathing at the time, but I get it now. I'm so precious, and so are you. And I know that may not land, that may not get in. I hope it does. That's my hope for you. You are really precious. Being of service. There is no better feeling than feeling like you are sucked into place and you're exactly where you're meant to be, and you are serving in some way. You are contributing to others. And it doesn't have to be this grand thing like being a CEO of a not-for-profit or starting an orphanage or whatever. It doesn't have to be this huge thing. It can be literally healing yourself. If you have a lot of wounding and trauma, the biggest service you can do for your community and for your family is to heal yourself. There's a really wonderful conversation online between Simon Sinek, the thought leader, and Steve Bartlett from the Diary of a CEO. In it, Simon is talking about the moment or the moments in which he realized what the meaning of life was and the whole purpose to life. This story that he shares, it had me bawling my eyes out. So I highly recommend that you watch it. It's so moving, and it just encapsulates everything that I'm trying to articulate and then some. I'll put that in the description. I think it's really important in life to find a mentor or an elder that can guide you. And, if you don't have someone to look up to in the home, you can look outside the home to a teacher or a spiritual teacher or anyone who is a few steps ahead, maybe a little bit older, maybe not. There's a lot of very wise young people. You can be 30 years old and so wise because you're an old soul and you're just very evolved. Or you can have an 85-year-old who's really immature and silly and selfish. So it doesn't really matter the age, but there is a bit of a lack of respect for elders in society, and you'd just be amazed what people can offer you once you start chatting to them. When I was young, I thought I knew it all. I don't know if you can relate to that. I remember people trying to give me advice and I'm like, yeah. No, I know what I'm doing. There's a reason why people keep coming back to the Stoics, to the Stoic philosophy, because that wisdom is timeless. So we're never going to think anything original. We're never going to have an original problem. Nothing is original. It's all been done before. There are answers already out there in history, in the books, in people's experience. So yes, we need to forge our own path and make our own mistakes, but also we can get some really wonderful guidance from others. I want to hear from you out there. What is the one thing that you would want yourself to know, your younger self? Pop it in the chat and let's share the wisdom. Mozzies. Pull my socks up. Now there's a couple more things I want to mention briefly. That is finances and skill acquisition. I just think they're a very important part of your 20s. If you get into debt in your 20s, you're taking away your freedom and your choices. If you rack up credit card debt, you're not going to be able to travel as much as you want to and experience the world. You're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do. So really learning about money, whether or not it's through, in America, they have Dave Ramsey. In Australia, we have Barefoot Investor, or whatever it is. There's a million money podcasts online. For me, the book that had the most influence on me was The Richest Man in Babylon. Highly recommend that. It's a wonderful fable, but basically the message is save 10%, invest 10%. If you just invest 10% and forget about it, you can just go on and live your life and you're going to be okay. The other thing, skill acquisition. Robert Greene on Diary of a CEO, again, Steve Bartlett. Obviously, I really love that show. He has such amazing people on there. Rob Greene was talking about your 20s is all about skill acquisition. It's about trying things out. It's not about taking the highest paying job. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to get the job where people are going to teach you the most, like the startup, or where you're going to have more creative input. Basically learn and grow as much as you can. If you do that in your 20s, the money will come in your 30s and 40s. You don't want to be in a golden handcuff situation where you don't feel like you can leave because of the money, because you've got this higher paying job, and of course Therefore, you got a better car and a better home, and you're used to spending more money, and so no other job's going to give you that, and then you get stuck in this job. It's not what your 20s are about. Your 20s are about exploration and gaining skills. If we can look back on our 20s with deep, deep acceptance for all of the decisions we made, the mistakes we made, all of our choices, if we can look back and just be like, yeah, you did the best that you could, you made the highest choice that you could in that moment. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, so you look back and you see how that decision led to that opportunity, led to that choice, and it's very easy to be in the mindset of, oh, everything happens for a reason and you're always exactly where you're meant to be. I don't believe that. I think there's always a higher choice and a better way, but at the end of the day, when we make the choice, that becomes the choice. Yes, we have to make our own mistakes, but you can always learn from other people. We can't possibly make all of the mistakes in the world. Like, it is okay to learn from others and to seek advice and seek help, and sometimes you're just going to do it anyway, and that's fine. And other times, a wise word from someone guiding you, a mentor perhaps, can just gently steer you in a different direction that can open up a whole world to you. There are a few other things that I haven't talked about today because I've talked about them already in another video, which I will link here and in the description if you want to check that one out. Thank you for being with me today. If you're in your 20s or whatever age you are, I am sending you a massive, massive hug. Lots of love.
Like and subscribe.